Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? Oh, my voice is a little bit hoarse. Hopefully you can see and hear me okay. Wow, I wasn't feeling well Sunday and I took a total dive on Monday. So I um I lost my voice completely on Monday. So it's hopefully I was hoping I'd feel better Tuesday, but Tuesday I just couldn't go live. And today I'm feeling about 80%. I sound a lot worse than I feel, but I'll be okay. Excuse me one. All right, so this excuse me, this will be the last stream of the year. So happy New Year to everyone, and thanks for joining me today. Uh, I did find a couple of interesting deals that I wanted to share with you, and there's not as many deals as I had hoped for the winter sale that they have every time after Christmas. I think we'll see a lot more deals next week in January when you really start to clear out stuff that got overstocked or whatever. Um, but yeah, I didn't see a ton of deals, but I did find a couple of interesting things that I'll go over. And let's just get into that. And I primarily focus on Amazon and B&H, and Roger recommended something from Hunt's, looking at Hunt's, yeah, I guess it's just Hunt's photo and video or something. I did find a really good deal there for the OM3. So I'll share with you that. I am an affiliate for Amazon and B&H, eBay, but not for Hunt. So, but they are having a great deal, so I wanted to share that with you. So let's go ahead and pull up my shopping page, and okay, so we're gonna go to my deal page, and it's just robtrek.com/deals, and it'll take you to this page. So first thing I actually want to get to is this thing here. I ordered this. It should be coming in today. You see, I ordered this yesterday. It's supposed to come in today. It's 20% off. This is basically it's been on sale for a couple of weeks, I think, but the sale's going to end of year. I saw that somewhere, but I'm not 100% sure. But this thing is 20% off, and it's basically a way to back up your SD cards in the field without needing a computer, without needing to connect to your phone or do anything. You can just plug your SD card in, push a button, and it'll back it all up. The storage capacity, it doesn't come with any storage. You have to buy that separately. You have to buy an NVMe SSD drive like you would buy for a laptop. I happen to have a 2 terabyte SSD laying around because I upgraded my computer to a 4 terabyte drive. And the 2 terabyte, it's not really enough for archiving and things like that, but it's perfect for something like this. And you can buy a 2 terabyte drive for around $200. So that makes this overall investment like $440. But when it comes in and I put my drive in and see everything out, I may do a short video on it. But those of you that are already kind of PC or tech savvy, you can jump right into this. It has a bunch of other functions. You can connect to it to your phone wirelessly or to your laptop or whatever, and transfer files back and forth. So if you're the kind of person that records a lot of video and photos on your cell phone, you can back them up directly to this via Wi-Fi, or just plug it in. And then this will plug back into your computer at home, and then it'll attach just as a regular drive, and then you can offload the computers to your laptop for editing. But I thought this was really, this is something that's been around on and off throughout the years, not this particular device, but devices like it. And none of them seem to have stuck. I remember Western Digital had a drive that was similar to this. I think it was a 2 terabyte drive. You plugged it, and you just you plugged your SD card in there and it'll back it up to the drive. But you can't get those anymore. So I thought this was a great solution because this also has Wi-Fi and you can plug it into your Ethernet with a docking station. It has a lot of options, but I'm just gonna I got this and I'm gonna try and see what more I can do with this. Because one of the things I'm thinking of using this for is sometimes I go out in the field with another photographer and we're both taking pictures of the same event. What I'd like to be able to do is just copy the photos from their camera onto this device, and they can copy my photos onto that they can take on. We can edit so that I can edit all of the photos. Also for educational purposes, for my case, I might want to okay, let me get the photos that you took today and we'll go over them. I want to go over them and then we'll talk about them later, that kind of stuff. But yeah, this is a great device, I think, for people that travel and don't want to carry their laptop or whatever, or, the other solution is you can use devices, hubs that connect to your phone, and then you hook up a hard drive and your SD card into this hub. But a lot of times you need an external power supply as well. So you need to bring a power bank or plug it into a wall to get all of that to work. So this is a very, very simple solution. Okay, that was the main one. Another thing is this tripod. Tabletop tripods are great. Particularly for macro and close-up photography out in the field, like doing mushrooms and flowers, and lately I've been doing some really fine macro, high magnification macro with a nodal focusing rail. This one's very, very sturdy. It's not as good a deal as the one that I had a couple of weeks ago. That tripod was that was a crazy deal because it's selling for like $70 to $100 now, and I got it for like 25, I think. But this tripod here is a really good deal. If you're looking for a tabletop tripod, this is a really good sturdy one, very high capacity, and very compact. It's so useful. I take my little mini tabletop tripods with me everywhere. And I don't use them all the time, but you can see I have this one. I think I still have on my deal page. This one's like $35 also, but I like the one that I showed just now, this Ulanzi one, because if you look at it, if you look at this image here, this image here, it collapses down nice and compact. Whereas this one here, it doesn't have quite that compactness because it has a center column. So when I close it up, it's quite a bit thicker around the base. It has quite a bit more girth to it. So it's not as compact, but the Ulanzi one is more compact and just as strong as this one. The only advantage this one has over the Ulanzi is because it does have a center column. Once you set it down, right, it's very easy to adjust the vertical. I mean, I only have a couple of inches here, but I can adjust the vertical and get it just exactly where I want it. As opposed to with the Ulanzi, you're going to have to adjust the legs, right, if you need to adjust the vertical. So you're adjusting like 2 or 3 legs at a time to get the right vertical. So there's a little bit of a trade-off when you don't have a center column, but the advantage is without the center column, it's more compact, right? So definitely something to consider. Extremely good price here on the Ulanzi. Let's see. I did find a couple of good bags. This is an interesting new bag from Mosisu. There's a coupon here to get it for $63, so that's a good price. And it's kind of a combination of this hard shell, but also it has the universal kind of pouch up here at the top, you know, to carry loose items and things like that. You know, side pocket and plenty of dividers. So this is a design I hadn't seen before, so I thought I'd share that with you. And this is probably an introductory price. You can see there's not many reviews on it yet, so this is a relatively new style. But Mosisu is a well-known brand for backpacks and camera bags, so this is going to be decent quality for the money, and you can get it now with this coupon. So if you're looking for a backpack with you know that you know has a little more flexibility to it overall, this might be the perfect solution for you. I mean, there's plenty of hard shell backpacks, but not any that I've seen that have this sort of universal pouch up at the top. You know, this open bag at the top. They show a picture of it in here. Yeah, this one here. This is really handy. Like they have a flash in there and headphones, but yeah, flashes and any other kind of gear that doesn't really fit in a compartment, you can just kind of throw into the top here. So I like that. Okay, and then this is an interesting bag. This Quadcon camera messenger bag. It's just a little bit stylish. Not my style, but it's 50% off, and it's, you know, it's a good sized bag for carrying. Let's see, what's it measure here? 9.5 by 5.5 by 4. So yeah, it's perfect for micro four thirds, the medium size. And yeah, so I don't know, you know, if you like this style, it's very functional, and it's a decent size, and it's 50% off. Okay, excuse me. Um, and then also the Rainsmore bag. This has been on sale before. This is a good size bag, lots of features, lots of pockets. Um, Not really my style in the sense that the strap is replaceable because it uses just regular gator hooks here. But you know, the advantage of the gator hooks is, you know, you don't have to unwind the strap every time you put it on. You can just put the bag on, and the strap will unwind itself because it swivels around the hooks. Uh, but I prefer when the straps are stitched into the bag. But this is, you know, this one has its advantages too, right? Being replaceable, number one, and also, you know, just the unraveling part is much easier with this one. But yeah, decent sized bag, couple of dividers, lots of pockets, and, you know, weatherproof to some degree, well insulated and padded. Comes with a rain cover, and there's a couple of different colors here. You can get the tan one even cheaper, $18.99. Okay, and then this tripod from Coleman. Coleman is a decent brand for tripods. I've reviewed one of their other carbon fiber tripods, but this is on their sort of their entry level tripod. And this is an articulating tripod where you can move the arm horizontally, and it also can be converted into a monopod. So it's very flexible setup. It's a great entry level tripod, all metal build, except, you know, of course, the buckles and a couple other spots there. But for an entry level tripod that articulates, this is a great deal. And, you know, it has a decent ball head on it. So I think this is a great tripod, and it stands 4 feet tall. If you look at here, without extending the center column, it's already comes to about here, right? About 4 feet. And then of course it'll extend up to 6 feet with the center column, which is a little bit over my head, right? So it has really a lot of flexibility in terms of height and in terms of functionality, because, being able to extend the camera horizontally sometimes is great for doing, again, flower photography, and macro photography, close-up photography, where you can get in closer with the lens. So it's very practical. It's not quite as useful as tripods. They can fully articulate, not only be horizontal, but you can also tilt them, right? But you're going to pay about $20 more for a tripod like that has a fully articulating head, column. But but this is a good option too. Just depends on what you're looking for exactly. Let me see if I can find. So I think I have it way down here. Yeah, this one. Okay, this one's about $15 more. This one's a little bit more versatile because not only can you articulate it horizontally, but you can also tilt it, as you can see, because it has this tiltable, axis there. And it's also a decent height, 61 inches without extending the center column. So that's pretty good. That's 5 feet. That's even taller. And then, up to 68 with the center column extended. So you can pay a little more and get something. This is even a little bit more versatile. But it's not going to be quite as compact as the Coleman. The Coleman compacts down to what, 58 centimeters. So that's 22 inches. Oh, it actually compacts down exactly the same. So either way, just depends on your budget. I don't want to recommend one over the other because they're both pretty good and slightly different applications. I think the Coleman one will be a little bit more stable, but not quite as versatile. Because this has, you can see how many legs or joints this has. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a 5-section leg tripod. And if we go back to the Coleman, this is a 4-section. So just slightly more stable, fully extended. Okay, and then, yeah, this one here, just coming down a little bit more, down to $40. You can get one without an articulating head. Save even a little more money. Another really good budget entry-level tripod. Just something, this can be a great second tripod to keep in the car or just use in your home studio when you're experimenting and things like that. I have a couple of tripods like this that are just, budget tripods, but decent enough quality that they get the job done. Okay, let me go back up to the top, see what else I found in here. Yeah, a couple other. Here's a hard shell case without the universal top. That's, $51. That's a good deal. $30 for this backpack. It's not necessarily on sale. This is a little bit smaller backpack. But, again, for Micro Four Third users, this is perfect, right? And it's cheap, and you can easily carry a lot of gear. So what I would do is I'd probably pack all of my lenses in here and flashes up in here, and then just carry my camera on a strap in front of me or something, or like with a wrist strap or something. And then whenever I wanted to access other lenses and stuff, I could just, set up that way. So good little backpack from Bag Smart, $30. And the only filter I could find that was on sale was this one. There's a 20% coupon when you check out. ND filter set, core value. You know, they're core essential things for any photographer is an ND filter set for doing long exposures. And they work great together with the built-in ND filters that the OM system cameras have, that, you know, some of them have. So I highly recommend ND filter sets. This is the only set I could find that was at a decent price with the 20% off. So that's what, like $7 off, right? So you're going to pay about $24 or $25 for this with the discount. But you get you get the carry pouch and you get 3 filters for $25, give or take. And it's very, very useful. So good, you know, fair deal. Not the best deal I've ever seen, but to be honest, the filters and some other items I've been finding are getting harder and harder to find at the kind of deals I saw last year. And then one other thing that this, I believe, was Heather was looking for memory card. So I have 2 choices here. I have this one here, 256 gig SD card, comes with the card reader. It's more expensive if you buy it without the card reader. Okay, so if I put card only, you can see it's $30. If I include the card reader, it's $5 cheaper. So this was the best deal for a standard 256 gig card. The read and write speeds are pretty accurate if you're using it on your computer. If you're going to use it in your camera, you're still going to be, it's going to be about the same as any other SD card. Somehow when you put these in your camera, the camera has a kind of a cap on the read and write speed. You know, it's just not capable of writing as fast as, say, your laptop or desktop computer. But if you feel, so I'll give you an example. You have a 90 frame buffer in the OM1. If you fill that buffer up with this card in it, it's going to take about 45 seconds for it to clear that buffer. I mean, you can keep shooting while the buffer's writing, but if you want to get back to your full 90 frame buffer, like in sports action type photography, it takes about 45 seconds to clear. The other memory card I have here is this one. I've recommended this over and over again. I've bought it 3 times at least, and I've always been able to get this for $40 or less, between $37 and $40. This has not been on sale in a long time. I think it was on sale for like $47 last week. But that said, this is still the cheapest V60 card that I consider reliable. You know, that is fast. So this card here, going from a V30, because the Samsung, if that's still up here, the Samsung, this is a V30 card. You'll see it labeled here, U3, or I'm sorry, V30 right here. This is a V60. This is more, you know, so technically it's twice as fast, but in practice, it's quite a bit faster, like 4 times faster. So I'll give you an example. If you fill up your OM1 buffer, you know, your frame buffer, 90 frames, this will clear that buffer in about 15 seconds, give or take. So it's quite a bit faster. It makes a huge difference. So if you're filling your buffer constantly, you're doing a lot of birds in flight or sports action photography and filling up your buffer over and over again, you have to get a V60 card because you're going to miss shots without it. Jumping to a V90 card is not going to give you any advantage in terms of frame buffer. There's no need to spend money on a V90 card. In any scenario, there's only 1 or 2 cameras that require V90 because of the video. They have these very high bit rate videos. For photography and for just about 99% of the cameras out there, this is fast enough. it's just getting harder and harder to find these. If you scroll down, here's a like here's the pro grade one. It's $12 more. Here's one from Lexar. Oh, that's a V90. No need to buy a V90. This is some generic. I wouldn't trust it, long term. OWC is a good brand, but they don't have anything at this price point. Like down here, V30, V90, V90, V60, V60 card, $88 for a V60 card. I've never even heard of this brand. ProGrade V60, $70. So this one here for 56 is currently the best deal for a V60 card. Hopefully it goes on sale again soon, and if you can wait, maybe just wait it out a little bit. But if you want or need one today, this is the best deal on a V60 card. Okay. Oh, I see Heather's here. So Heather, there's there's no advantage to getting a V90 card. I can't explain why they're so expensive. I mean, they're a lot more expensive when you go to V90, right? But it's only about the price only doubles when you go from V30 to V60. But you're getting about 4 times the performance. Quite a bit of difference in performance. Even though if you look at the specs, it doesn't look like that much difference, right? 280 megabits read, 180 write. And then if you look over here, they're saying 180 and 130. But that's really only when you're plugging it into your computer with a fast SD card reader that you can really attain those speeds. In your camera, going from a V30 to a V60, there's a significant difference. Going from a V60 to a V90, no difference at all. So just go with the V60. Okay. But this V30 card, if you're not filling up your buffer all the time, this is more than enough. And half the price, and it comes with a card reader. Now I put a couple other things in here, that are not on sale, like this fisheye lens I'm reviewing right now is a really good lens for $200. You can wait for the video review, but if you've been thinking about a wide angle lens, this has a little bit of distortion. This is a good deal for $199, 6mm f2. And it comes in a lot of different mounts. It's an APS-C lens, but I have the Micro Four Thirds one. In fact, I posted some pictures from it onto my Flickr. Like I did this one with it. It's great. I did that one with it, So, nice wide angle lens. But I'll do a video on it. But you can get it now if you don't want to wait for the video. And then here's a Nikon lens, Sony lens. These are pretty good deals. There's a wrist strap for $5. They're typically $7, $8, but $5, can't complain. And let's see. Oh, this bag went up in price since I posted it. This bag was down to I think it was like $19 when I added it. Now it's back up to $27. This is a good bag for $18. Nice little backpack for $37. Air blowers. These are very, very useful. The 40 to 150 kit lens, always a good deal, under $200. You don't have to pay, even if you pay $240, it's still a good deal, but you don't have to. It's always on sale for under $200. So always buy it when it's under $200 and it's a good deal. This is the webcam that I use for all my live streaming now and the microphone set. This is a great combination here. No complaints at all. I love this combination, and they're at a smoking deal. You can now buy the webcam and the microphone set, you know, for like, this is half price, and this one is $50 off. That's a great deal. And let's see, all the usual stuff down here you guys have seen me talk about 100 times. So let me go to Hunt's Photo, because right now the OM3 is on sale for $17.99 everywhere, right? And I recommend you get it with the 12 to 45 Pro if you don't have this lens already, or if you have the 12 to 40 Pro already, you don't need to buy the 12 to 45. But if you don't have either one, get it with the 12 to 45, because it's only 300 more. That's a steal. But at Hunt's Photo and Video, I'll put the link into the, well, let me show you the deal first. Oh man, are you kidding me? Oh, here it is. It says $17.99, right? But if I add this to my cart, I don't know if you can see this. They're giving $390 off. So you can get the OM3 brand new for $16.09. So just go to Hunt's Photo. Let me give you the link. So I'm not an affiliate or anything with them, but if we scroll down, it's on their holiday deal page. All the other deals here look pretty normal. This looks like a really good deal too. OM1 Mark II. Let's see what it is on Amazon. $19.99, right? And Hunt's Photo is an authorized dealer, so you're going to get a USA warranty with these, as far as I know. I mean, double check, call them and ask. But these are not international cameras, as far as I know. These are, yeah, these are the OEM from the factory, so you should be able to get the USA warranty with this. If I add this to cart, let me remove this. Look at that, $18.49. That's a pretty good deal. So definitely check out Hunt's Photo for the OM1 Mark II and OM3. You can't beat that. So let me see. Here's a V60 card. Oh, that's a 128 though. It's not a particularly good deal. I don't see. This is a little bit small, this backpack. I mean, it's a good backpack. It's just a little bit on the small side for $40. Here's another memory card, V60. See, this is $60. That's a good deal for a Lexar, but you might as well get the PNY Elite. I think that's a better card for $3 less. And I don't think anybody cares about Wacom tablets. I have one, but you know, it's not a big deal. Let's see, XT5 for $100 off. That's fair. They never go on sale, right? Canon R7 through 330. I'd wait. The R7 Mark II is around the corner. Some binoculars, some lenses. Okay, the rest of this looks pretty much par for the course. You can get these deals just about everywhere. Aside from the OM system cameras, these deals are par for the course. They're good deals, but they're just not spectacular. This is interesting. What is this? This is a nice messenger bag from Tenba. I just have to see the kind of the size. Oh, it's a little bit small. Where are the dimensions? This is the Skyline V212 gray. You have to be careful because the pictures they showed aren't always the exact one that you're getting. 12 is, oh, it's 8 inches wide. Yeah, this is a really small one. This is a very, very small bag. I wouldn't get this. It's a little bit too small. Benro carbon fiber. Nope, I didn't like the head on this is terrible. The ball head on that particular tripod, I've seen it. It's not very good. And yeah, like we've seen these deals everywhere. That looks like a good deal there. So it looks like all the OM system cameras are a particularly good deal. The Canon, Nikon, Sony, they all look to be about on par. Let's look at this Nikon. So Nikon with a 24 to 70 f4, right? Yeah, it's the same. 2696. So these are about par for the course. And you can pre-order the GR4 HDF, whatever that is. Okay, so check out Hunt's video for the OM system stuff, and anything else they might have might be okay. These all look like pretty reasonable deals. How about the lenses? Oh, the version 2 is on sale. That's a good deal. So the OM system stuff is particularly a good deal at this place. Definitely. Like this 150 to 600. How much was this one? 22, 23. So 2,300 bucks, right? Let's see if that's, yeah, that's a good deal. So I don't know what Hunt's video has going on with OM system stuff, but it looks like they're about, you know, $100, $200 cheaper than everywhere else for the same thing. So definitely check that out. Okay, thanks for the tip, Roger. All right, so those are the main things I had. So let me go to the chat section and see if there are any questions. To pop this out. So Darko, Happy New Year. Good to see you. Yeah, Roger said check out the Hunts. Yep, definitely some good deals there. And Happy New Year, Julio. Good to see you. And Ethan, hey, good to see you. And let me scroll down some more. And Darko says, I bought a large ProMaster 10-inch daylight balance panel kit. What is that? A daylight balance panel kit? I have no idea what that is. If I see it, I'll probably, oh, okay, that makes sense. But I don't know what that is. Also got a mini PC, i5, 250 gig main SSD, and 8 gig of RAM for 100. Wow, that's not bad. You want to upgrade the RAM? Oh, you know, these mini PCs have a lot of limitations to them. I'm not really the right person to ask about that system. Sometimes the RAM is already kind of soldered in and you can't upgrade it. Sometimes you can't upgrade more than what's already in there because it's already, I'm not familiar enough with the mini PCs to help you out with that. Sorry, Darko. I think Marco would be a good person to ask. And Bolden's, I just came on. Which small tripod had the center column? Oh, okay. It was the newer one, the brand newer. So let me go to my deal page. It should still be on my deal page. Way down here at the bottom. Oh, it's $40 now. Oh, I paid like $30 for it, and it was on sale for $35. Now it's 39. But this is the one. So I'll give you a link to this. This is my affiliate link. So there's that. Sorry, I didn't get that. See your question sooner. 40 bucks is still the best deal you're gonna get on a tripod like this. Most of them are $40, $50. Um, it'd been nice to get it at 35 though, right? Because it was at 35 for a long time. When it was on sale for a long time for 35. Okay, and Adam is here. Good morning. So you have a gift card, so let's see what Rob can convince me I need. Only if I need it, of course. Of course. Peter says, on your recommendation years ago, I purchased the Amazon Basics bags. Is it still available? It's a great sturdy bag. Yes, it is still available. It's not $25 anymore. When I did that video like 7 or 8 years ago, but large so it's this one here. I purchased this in July. They still have my purchase thing in here, 2014. So I still have the bag right here. I don't use it as much as I used to. I use it for storage now. But yeah, I still have it here. I'll add this to the deal page. It's a fair deal for $32. But it comes with plenty of dividers. I added another divider, of course. And nice little zip up pocket up here. And then this also detaches and you can zip it closed on top. And then it has the flap, right? Flap and buckles here. Now it has the gator type strap where you have to, you can put your own strap on or use the one that came with it, whatever. A couple of nice side pockets. What it doesn't have is like a back pocket. Back pockets, I don't know why I like back pockets, but I like a little zippered back pocket now. Because I like to keep parking permits and location permits and things in an easy to access place. I've never been asked to show one, but it just mentally, if someone asked me for one, I know exactly where to go for it instead of shuffling through all different places for it. But what I have in here? Oh, I kept a white piece of paper for white balancing and stuff in here. And these are just doggy bags when I take Ellie out. But yeah, this was a great bag. Lots of pockets. There's a strap in here. Another microfiber cloth. But there's a zippered pocket in the front, and it has a zippered pocket inside. It's really hard to see with because it's black. but it's still good as new after 9 years, right? Going on 10. No, 10 years. I bought this in 2014, so it's 11 years old now. Still going strong. But I don't use it very much. Oops. Okay. Uh and Bolton says, "Do you have experience with cotton carrier holsters?" I do not. Let me just look at one real quick. Maybe I've seen it before in the field. Oh, okay, okay. I did see someone with this in the field. They seem to like it. So we're talking about these things, right? Maybe one of these. Um, yeah, my buddy who passed away had one of these. He didn't have the hip. I saw someone in the field that has one of these hip ones, and they like it. And then also, the other one, that's the binocular one. So basically, the ones that go on the hip, uh, they liked it because they like to carry two cameras. So they like one on their hip, and then they like to hold one, and they want to be able to swap between the two very quickly. So they didn't have any. They seem to like it. Uh, the other the other one that kind of goes on your chest, that's great for big heavy lenses. Because what my buddy Ben did is he had one, and he buckled his OM1 with the 150 to 400 on the front. And then what he had to do though is in the back where the straps meet and stuff, it had a little padding there, like a padding in the back. He slipped in like a counterweight to offset the weight of the camera on the front. And so that was the only modification he had to make to the one that was like a full body, like where you put the camera on your chest, is he had to put a counterweight in the back because he had a pretty big lens and camera setup in the front. So that's the only thing I have to think about is I don't know how comfortable it would be with a big heavy camera setup in the front if you have one of the chest mounted ones, because of what Ben had to do to make it more comfortable and more balanced. But yeah, uh, they look like a nice little system. I don't have any personal experience, but I've seen people in the field with them, and they all seem to like it. None of them complained about it. Uh, and Henning is here. Good to see you. Happy New Year. It's almost 4 p.m. in Germany. Cool. Gonna be New Year soon. And Heather says, thanks for finding deals wise. Oh yeah, I answered this one beyond the V60, V30. I don't know why they're so expensive. And Eric's here. Good to see you, my number one buddy on Flickr. um, Gyms are about to get busy with the whole new year. New me. Yeah, I know. I remember that. I used to go to the gym a lot. And yeah, it was always annoying as a regular gym goer when the new year came around because then all the machines that you normally go to are all taken and you have to wait. Yeah. And Shri is here. Good morning, Shri. Oh, thank you. Hit the like button and keep the good vibes. I appreciate that. Um, oops, I'm sorry. What about I'm sorry, my chat just jumped up. Adam says, weird item, maybe asked you before. Are there any places that sell battery cases for individual batteries that are sized for the batteries? Have the JCV ones that have a latch? No. I've never looked for them, so I wouldn't even know where to begin. You and I would probably do the same searches and find the same things. But yeah, I don't know specifically offhand where to find such a thing. And Chuck says, I have the Temba Skyline 12 and it can hold two EM1 Mark IIIs with lenses with room for... Really? And that little 8-inch, it's only 8 inches wide. That's surprising. Well, I appreciate that, Chuck. So let's go back to that, where was it? Hunts, right? So Chuck is referring to this. And, you know, when I looked at the dimensions, these are the outside dimensions. The inside dimensions is 7.5. Oops, oops. We're looking at this Tenba bag, right? The V12. I mean, I love Tenba. I have two or three of their bags that I've bought for myself, and they're my favorite bags and backpacks, right? But when I saw these dimensions, that surprised me. So it's 5 inches deep. Okay, so you would have to put the EM1 Mark IIs down vertically this way and this way. And then you said you can also fit with lenses and room for another. So I'd be surprised if you fit two, maybe the smaller primes you could do. All right, well, I stand corrected. I guess it's big enough. 8 inches just seems a little small. Because I keep a ruler here on my desk. And that's 8 inches right there between my finger and that. That seems really small to me. I can't imagine that holds it, but it does because it's 5 inches deep and 7 inches tall. So it's a little bit taller than it is deeper, I guess, right? Or it's the height and depth that kind of makes it possible, I guess. It's just the width is a little bit tight. But okay, I will take your word for it. That's a tight fit in my opinion, but if you got room for two cameras and a lenses, that's a good fit. Oh, the 50 to 200 at Hunts. Oh yeah, yeah, that's brand new. Yeah. So, okay. And Adam says, I've never liked a bag more than my Peak Design 13 Everyday Messenger, but need a wee bit more space. eBay still had the 15 liter for a good price. Another bag for the, yeah, I know. Is there a good place to buy? I have no idea. You won't get anything for it if you do. That's the sad part. You know, a lot of times when I wouldn't say a lot of times, but sometimes I give my bags away to other photographers that don't have them yet or need a bigger bag or whatever. I usually end up giving them away. I've given away maybe 3 bags, 3 or 4. That basic bag holds my 4x5 speed graphics. Yeah. So the Amazon Basics bag that Peter's referring to, you know, that I showed earlier, is a nice square, has kind of a squarish profile. I mean, it's rectangular, but it's a little bit, it's a little boxy, right? The height, the width, the dimensions. So it makes sense that your 4x5 would fit right in there. And John is here. Good to see you. Happy New Year. And just joined Flickr Pro after being away for a year. I had a 10% discount. Pause it for a few minutes and then 20% discount. Wow. $118. I know. I don't know why I'm paying like $80 or something. I got charged for this year. I have to check again. But I don't mind supporting Flickr. I think it's a great platform. So I got the Pro membership. Yeah, the inside dimensions look off. I know, right? I mean, I could see you squeezing all of that in there, but it seems like it would be tight to me. But I've got to use 40 to 150 f4 Pro and can't believe how compact this lens is. My favorite f2.8 version will be on its way. Cool. And Chuck says the actual inside dimension is 11 by 8. So you have the version 12, the V212, this one, the V212. Because the V213 is probably closer to the actual dimensions you're talking about. See, this one, the V213 is the dimensions you're showing, 11.25 by 8 by 4.5. So that's, no, that's a little bit off from what you're saying. So because your dimensions are way off compared to what's listed here. Who is this, Hunts? Yeah, it's a little tricky because it looks bigger in the pictures than what the dimensions say. Because right there, this looks like an XH2 camera here, like a Fujifilm XH2 with a Fujifilm lens. So I could see squeezing two EM1 Mark IIIs in with some small primes and then a little bit in the middle, right? Because you figure the lens is about 2 inches wide, the camera's about another 5 inches, so there's 7 inches. There's about enough. Yeah, it's tough. It just looks small to me, but okay. All right. So I think I caught up to all the chat. I think we're all set. So you definitely have the V212. Wow. So let's go to Tenba's website. Because who knows, maybe Hunt's got it wrong. Well, let's do it. Yeah, if we go to Tenba's website, whoops. See, Tenba has the right dimensions here. I don't know if you can see that, but these are the dimensions that you gave. The outside dimension, yeah, the dimensions are way off on Hunt's website. So I would say for 40 bucks, it's not bad. Because when I was looking at the dimensions on Hunt's website, I was like, that's kind of a small bag, don't get it. But now when you go to Tenba directly, you can see the dimensions are very different here. It's a much bigger bag. That makes more sense to me. Okay. All right, mystery solved. They just didn't list it correctly on Hunt's. And Roger says, looking at doing some film, slide, and print scanning on with my EM5 III this winter. Also 6x9 negatives from my parents. Looking at Velo systems. Any suggestions for other systems? Want to shoot in RAW? Oh man, you know, Roger, I haven't looked at. There was one I looked at that I really liked, but I can't remember it now. Let me just do a generic search. I think it was this. Sorry, you can't. I think it was this one. I mean, it's really pricey, but this will do it all, right? There's some variations of this that are cheaper. I mean, if you're looking just to scan 35 millimeter film, that's one thing. But if you're looking to scan like a variety of different film, this is the only option that I can see. This is 120. This won't even do 6 by 9. Well, actually, that looks 6 by 9 right there to me. I'm trying to see. Yeah, I I I don't have any hands-on experience with any of that stuff, so I can't make any recommendations. Just when I was looking for one myself, and I ended up just using a flatbed scanner for most of my scans because that'll scan just about any size, right, that you want. I have an Epson V 550 for scanning. Doing scanning with a camera, just using your camera to take pictures of the negatives, that's a whole different process. And getting the alignment correct is the critical part, right? So that you make sure that everything is in focus. And that was always the tricky part for me. And buying the gear to do that, the light, the table stand with the center column that you can mount your camera onto, so you get a perfectly parallel snapshot. That's always tricky. Uh, I did see a negative scanning solution on Amazon once. Let me look at that real quick again. That was kind of interesting, but it wouldn't do 6 by 9. It was mainly for 35 millimeter. But it was one of those, yeah, it was by JJC. It was this thing. So basically it has its own LED lighting, but it's mainly for 35 millimeter. So this is not going to be a solution for you either. But you can look at this one. I'll give you the link to this just so you can just start doing your research into it. This is a good place to start as well. Um, so there's a link to that one. Just like I said, so you can start doing some more research. The one on B&H and then this one, and then try to find something in between, right? Because one is really expensive. This one's kind of cheap and only does one thing. I know there's stuff in between, but I haven't looked in a long time. And James is here. Good to see you. It's so good to see you live this morning. Is there a way to change shooting modes when using C1 through 4 on the OM1 too? Seems like once you save, you're locked in a mode. Yeah. So you're locked in. So I think what you mean is, like, if you save C1 as shutter priority, C2 is aperture priority, C3 is, say, manual mode. Once you select C1, you're stuck in shutter priority. Yeah, you're stuck. You cannot change mode. So think of C1, 2, 3, 4 as shooting modes that you assign, but you can't change them once you're in that mode. So yeah, that's the way that works. If you assign C1 shutter priority, it's always going to be in shutter priority. You can't change it to manual. If the mode dial is in C1, you're stuck in whatever you program that mode to. And Heather says, went on vacation, and the first day I opened my laptop, 1/4 of the screen is blank. Bad tech. Oh, sorry to hear that. And Dan is here. Good day. And he asks, any suggestion for budget-friendly photo gimbal for my tripod? Photo gimbal. I'm not sure what you mean by gimbal. Uh, I'll show you the gimbals. Let me go to my page. Need to be a little more specific. Because I have a couple of gimbals like these, like this one. There's one that's a little bit more expensive. Maybe not get this one for 35. This is a good budget option, but there's another one. This one. This one is a little better. It's $60. I know they look identical, but this one somehow is a little better quality. This is the one that I bought actually. Uh, Let me add this to my. I'll add this to my deal page so it's easy to find. Yeah, if this is a good little gimbal here. It's 60 bucks. Some people complained about the $35 one because they ordered that one. So, but nobody that's ordered this one. I know a couple of people have ordered this one. They're very happy with. Except one person. I think it was Paul. Paul ordered this one and ended up buying the more expensive one. Because there's really expensive ones here, like this one here. The key difference in terms of functionality is just basically the dampening, right? With the $35 one and the $60 one, the dampening is pretty minimal. You like loosen it and the camera's loose, right? And as you tighten it down a little bit, it gets tight very quickly and the camera's tight versus like like this one, the more expensive ones, as you tighten it down, there's a little bit of dampening effect so that the camera's not loose, it's dampened a little bit and the dampening adjusts as you tighten the knob so that eventually it'll be completely tight and locked in, but you can loosen a little bit and move it with some dampening effect. So that's kind of the big difference between these very cheap ones, like the ones I recommended, and these expensive ones. So personally, I don't see a problem with it being loose because I'm doing birding and wildlife. But if you do video work, I think you might appreciate the dampening a little bit more. You know, because it gives you a little bit more fluidity in your video. But I think for photography, it wouldn't make much difference. And Peter says, check out DIY copy stands. Cutting board pipe flange. Oh yeah, there's a lot of DIY things out there for scanning, definitely. And gimbal for wildlife. Okay, hopefully Dan, that makes sense. If that was the thing you were kind of looking for. Rob, I need an external storage system for my laptop. Should I get disk drive or SSD? I would get a regular external disk drive. There were a bunch on sale before Christmas. Now not so much. But I'll show you the one that I got. Because the price per terabyte is just unbeatable. And they're generally very reliable. But something like this, right? I bought this back in October. I think I paid $169. Now it's $219. So just wait for a good sale on these, right? And I've had the best luck with Western Digital, but you know, people can say the same thing about Seagate. They've had very good luck with Seagate and not Western Digital, and vice versa. Personally, I go with Western Digital, but some people, they will swear by Seagate, right? Toshiba is another pretty popular brand, but this is all I use is Western Digital. I've never had any issues. The problem with SSDs is they're so expensive. And depending on your cataloging system and how you organize your files, you know, it won't make much difference if you're using an SSD or a regular hard drive when you're trying to access your photos. Because like Lightroom has its own indexing system, and you may see some differences with an SSD if you're using something like DxO. It does run a little smoother with an SSD, but I do so much stuff on external drives that um, it's fine. For photo editing, I don't see any difference. I don't see a huge difference between using SSD versus regular hard drives. So for storage capacity, price per terabyte, hard drives are the best. Okay, looks like I'm all caught up there. And maybe we'll call it here. So everyone, Happy New Year. Thanks so much for joining me again today. I do have to cut a little short because I'm a little bit exhausted now. I'm still recovering from this flu that I got. It really destroyed me, but I'm trying to get some rest up so I can go out shooting this weekend with my buddies. We're gonna go up to Bombay Hook, and I need to get fully recovered and not give them what I had, if possible. So, thanks again, everyone. I will see you again in the new year. So have a very happy new year.